Hello everybody, this is Vik, and so when the first Alvin and the Chipmunks came out, they became my lifelong adversaries. I hated the three quote-unquote adorable singing chipmunks, and I wished that, Dave would just lure them down, into the dip a la Judge Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I also had reoccurring sweet dreams about mouse traps and stuff like that. And then sequel after sequel came, and I was just, these movies are so fucking bad and I hate them. And then the fourth one, and mercifully they, released them at the same date as Star Wars The Force Awakens, which actively, killed the entire franchise because it kind of bombed and they haven't made a movie since. So mercifully they were killed. However, interestingly, they went out with the best movie of the four that was made, which is a bit like being, the nicest guy in prison or something like that. But yet, this movie is not entirely horrible. It's not going to be a very positive review, but I will have positive things to say about this movie. This was not meant for me, obviously. I'm not, the targeted demographic or anything like that, but I don't care. Movies shall still be good, even if it's not meant for me. So, let's find out what this movie is about, shall we? And what a fucked up childhood, Alvin must have, because, they are on this plane, and I might be mistaken, but I'm sure that, they're going through the, entertainment bit on the plane, and he says, oh, they have pink flamingos. You want to see it? Nah, I've already seen it, Alvin says. I might be mistaken if that actually happened, but I have a very, very strong reminiscence of that happened. That means that we have a fucking airline that, purposely shows a movie where a, transvestite is dipping crackers into pig shit and eat it. Or also that Dave is purposely showing movies to his quote-unquote children about a mother that gives a blowjob to her own son. Let's just think in for a second with a small little inside joke. But I've been yapping too much about, all this stupid shit. Let's talk about the movie instead. This is Alvin and the Chipmunks, Road Chip. There might be changes in Dave's household because he has been, for the past few months, going out steadily with this nice lady doctor that he's, being his girlfriend and stuff like that. And now he's going off, on his own with her to have, quality time and stuff like that. And he leaves the duty of, babysitting the chipmunks in the hands of Samantha's douchey teenage son. But by the way, he's my unsung hero number one in this movie because he spends most of the time trying to murder the chipmunks and make their lives a living hell. Hooray for him! But they discover that Dave has sort of forgotten the wedding ring that he was supposed to bring, and they draw the conclusion that he's going to ask Samantha to marry him. And the douchey son says, well, we have to go after him and stop the wedding, because if they get married, I will sort of be the one true son, and he will leave you by the side way, because you're just a bunch of talking rodents and not his actual sons, even though they're adopted. God, that makes it sound so fucking stupid. So they go off, and are they going to be able to stay away from shenanigans? No, they're not. And let's get the good bits out first, because I get the feeling that this movie contains a whole lot less of singing than previous movies. I don't know if that was the case or not, but it felt like it wasn't as much singing, because I hated whenever the Chipmunks started singing. They couldn't carry a tune if they had a handle on it. The physical comedy and the slapstick was also far better than previous movies, and I thought that the thing with the road trip element to the whole thing gave the movie a bit of a purpose. But most of the things could have been, scraped under the rug as being, mildly better than previous. But there is an unsung hero, number two in this movie, in fact, who helped this movie climb over the rest of them. Agent Suggs. He's an air marshal who gets really annoyed with them and put them on a no-fly list. And when they, you know, run off, he, you know, just becomes completely insane and starts chasing them like he's the fucking Terminator. He is so determined to get them. And the reason why he hates the Chipmunks so much is totally justifiable. And since I, you know, already hate him, I was rooting for him all along. But of course he's going to, you know, be the foil for all their shenanigans and stuff like that. And he was very good at making the physical comedy of him, you know, constantly failing, constantly getting, you know, fooled by them, to be really, really funny. I love Suggs so much, and he was so funny in this one. He's actually the only funny character they've had for the entirety of the 4 movies. I might forget somebody, but I don't think so. So how's the rest of the movie? It is the same stale, boring, uninteresting, and for the most part unfunny movie that it has been previous. But they have a couple of things in it that makes this a little bit more palatable than what I have been used to with them. It's still not good. It's still a pretty bad movie, but you know, comparing this one to the abysmal first one, the atrociously awful second one, and the horrendously awful third, this was a fucking Godfather compared to, you know, those 3. It's still bad, it's still terrible, but not as terrible as those ones. But Suggs alone cannot save this movie. It's like trying to pick up a turd by the clean end. You can't do it. And in the end, this is a very bad movie, but comparing it to the other ones, much better. When I saw this, I was ping-ponging a little bit between, you know, 15, 16, 17, 18 or something like that, but I settled on 17 points. I think that this movie is a bad comedy with lame jokes, but there is at least one character to attach yourself to. Even you know he's going to fail in the end, you're still so behind him because he does what you have wanted to do for so fucking long. I hate this movie a lot, but I hate the other movies just a little bit more. So I'll see you next time for so-and-so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.